There's so many people who have money, fame, popularity, everything you could think of, material things, who are miserable, right? So success isn't money. That's something that comes, after you seek the Most High. That's something that comes with it, but there has to be the character that is developed first. And when we develop our character, along with developing your character is learning the art of consistency. Sometimes you just gotta vent. Okay, y'all, peace. This is my first time filming I guess you could say a full YouTube video just solely on my phone. As you can see, I'm doing overkill with the facing sunlight, so I might be enlightened, really enlightened after this because of the sun just oozing into my skin. Now, I wanted to talk about the fact that today, without planning, I washed my hair, combed it out, and plaited it. Y'all, I'm coming out of my lazy girl era, and it's a miracle. So let me tell you how I'm doing this. It's all about consistency, and it's all about when you're just tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again, making the same mistakes over and over and over again. It just gets to a point where you are fed up. It gets to a point where you're just done. You just get tired of the constant disappointment, the constant starting over, stopping, starting over. I mean, whatever habit that you're trying to break. So for me, one of the habits that I've been trying to get into is to wake up early. I really just want to wake up early sometimes, so that my whole day can just be somewhat planned, as much as you can plan, because we know life is life and life be lifing. And so there's nothing you can do about certain things that just happen. However, when you plan a night before, or you get up early and you just plan out your day after Fajr prayer. See, as a Muslim, our first prayer is really before the sun comes up. And so if my first prayer is before the sun comes up, and if I'm not up before the sun comes up, that means I missed that prayer. All right. And that prayer makes me feel so good when I actually make it. So it's things like that where for years I've just been, some days I'll do it. I can get up early. Some days I'll get up at 10, and it's just like, okay, when will I ever be consistent? And so I know I'm not the only one who feels like, wow, I'm starting over again. But guess what? The thing that I do love about myself, and I love a lot of things about myself, but one of the things that I love about myself is that regardless to what happens, I keep trying. I'm constantly trying. So even if I don't get it, it's like something in me knows that I'm supposed to be greater than what I'm being. I know something in you knows that you're supposed to be greater than what you're being. So for me, when I stop things, self-sabotage, whatever the reason, I have to tell myself and remind myself, what does God see in me for him to say that I am someone who is in the image and likeness of him? So if I'm in his image and he's someone who is the greatest, then clearly I'm supposed to be much greater than what I'm being. Granted, I'm not the creator of the heavens and the earth. However, I can create things in my own atmosphere. I can create things in my own earth, my home. Your home is your temple. There's just certain things that your home needs to have. It needs to be clean, just everyday chores. You can be on it. It doesn't have to fall behind if we plan accordingly and we are up on our scheduling, getting up early and scheduling things, and even down to our food, our diet. If my body is my temple, I need to be making sure that I'm putting the best foods in my body. So I've been really, really intentional about my body. I've been really intentional about my the food that I put in my body and the times that I eat. And so, for example, I believe that we should eat only one meal a day, because that's what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who is the person who I follow, Minister Louis Farrakhan, that's what he teaches us, is one meal a day. This world calls it intermittent fasting, but I don't eat before 3:30 p.m. I don't snack. I don't drink any juice. It's only water or hot tea or hot coffee. And most of the time it's just water. It's very rare that I do the hot tea and the hot coffee. So I already started eating today, but I took a pause because I'm like, this is the only light I have because my ring light doesn't work anymore. So I took a pause and I wanted to get into the sun. And listen, the sun is glistening on your girl. But anywho, so I wanted to make sure that I told you guys that I've been much better when it comes to my consistency. And honestly, I feel like my diet and focusing on my food actually catapulted me into being better at getting up early. It's very interesting, but and also I put my phone in jail. I bought something on Amazon. It's a phone jail, and at 9 o'clock I put my phone up so I can no longer just scroll and be up till 1 a.m. and then expect to be back up by 5:30 or 6 a.m. Not happening. Let's be realistic with ourselves in 2024, shall we? Now, for me, when I started to eat better, making sure that all my food have quality ingredients, organic fruits and vegetables, making sure that I cut out a lot of processed foods, not too much pastas, not too much rice, not too much breads. And if I do bread, there's actually an organic sourdough bread bakery that's in Houston. I'm from H-Town, so that's where we at. And so there's a sourdough bakery. It's about 45 minutes from me, but I don't mind making that drive. I get like 2 loaves of spelt organic sourdough bread every few weeks or whatever. And that actually lasts because I don't eat a lot of the bread. It's mostly for my daughter, who I make toast for, and different things like that. And I keep it in the freezer. But for the most part, I've been cutting out a lot of breads, processed foods, pastas, things like that, and trying my best to stick with cucumber salads and lots of fruit. I do smoothies. I juice. I don't do a lot of juicing now. Too much raw juice is not necessarily good for the system due to the fact that you're getting it's in a potent form. And so, but that's a whole nother story. I'm gonna have to do a whole nother video on that. That's from the book How to Eat to Live by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. But listen, when it comes to my temple, and when I start taking care of my temple more, because I grew up as a Muslim, so I never, ate things like pork and scavenger, like shrimp and crab and all of those things already. So I didn't have that problem. However, now that I am older, I did realize that even though I was eating somewhat clean, it really wasn't that clean. And so now I'm in the process of truly cleaning up my diet. So once I started to do that, and then of course not eating until 3:30 or after, that's when I noticed that I was able to get up earlier. I could, I guess you could say, discipline myself enough to put my phone down, because if you get to a point where if you can control your stomach, you can kind of control almost anything in your life. And so once I did that, I noticed I start getting up earlier. I start stretching in the morning. So my thing is, I don't really like working out per se. I do if I have a personal trainer, but the funds is low, honey, and that's going to change in 2024, but the funds is low, so I didn't really want to do a personal trainer. Now my husband, he says he can personally train me, but he just a little too light on me. It's like, nah, I need you to really go in. And then when he does try to go in, I'm like, I don't want to do that. So it's the whole husband and wife dynamic. It don't work. So anywho, so when I decided to change my diet and then also put my phone down at night to prevent all the scrolling up all day and all night. So once I, cut down on my screen time and all of that, I was able to wake up in the morning. Of course, when you wake up in the morning, you can do so many different things. And I've gotten so many things done just this morning in comparison to what I used to do. And trust me, washing my hair spontaneously, that is a game changer. I usually have to plan my wash days because I just don't like doing it. It's dreadful for me. And it's actually not that bad, but it's just like, I like to pay people to do my hair. But hey, when you don't got the funds right now, you got to do it yourself, okay? And again, those funds are about to come in abundantly, in abundance. And so anywho, once I decided to put the phone down, go to sleep, I was able to get up earlier. And so now, because of the whole no working out thing, as far as like the gym, I'm not a big gym person. What I decided to do is go in my living room while everybody else is asleep, turn on my YouTube and stretch. Yes, stretch. So I decided to stretch. Stretching for me is something that I've been wanting to do a lot more consistent because I wanted to be flexible, right? And the older we get, the more our bodies start creaking and squeaking, and it's just like, that's not cute. So I decided to go ahead and instead of doing a workout, because I might not want to do a workout in the morning, come on, realistic, I said, I'm gonna just stretch. And so there's a 13-minute stretch video that I do every morning that I really enjoy. It's the perfect amount of time because I was looking into 15-minute, 20-minute. And so when I did the 13-minute, I said, this is the one right here. Okay, this is the one. So I do a 13-minute stretch. And then I start reading. By then, my daughter gets up. It's probably like 6:50 or 7 o'clock. And then she just watches me stretch and she watches me read as she's constantly talking to me saying, wait, are you done reading? And so once I do that, I start my daughter's homeschooling. And she does her learning today. She was a little fussy, but we got through school today. Okay? Because mama's going to get it through. Or, hey, you can go in the room and go back to sleep with daddy. Okay? So we had to do a little talk today. But besides that, those are the things that I do in the morning. And then, my day starts. I just started teaching virtually at a Afro-centered virtual school. It's called Whole Living Academy. And I really enjoy it. I teach the beginner learners group. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to teach children. But all of these things, you get to plan in advance, especially when you get up early. And so the lazy girl era is, look, we out of there. We are claiming it, naming it, claiming it. We not going backwards. We not doing none of that. And if you're a brother looking at this or a man looking at this, you're not going back to your lazy man era either, okay? And so at the end of the day, I want us to be sure and make promises to ourselves that we do keep, right? And I'm talking to myself because I'm literally, I can tell you, I have been a chronic, habitual start and stopper. But this space feels really, really good. And again, it's truly, I feel, of course it could just be your mind is made up. But for me, my mind is always made up, seemingly, and then I stop and start. But this time, coupled with my mind being made up, was me holding off eating and doing intermittent fasting. So I think that is something that I think would be really cool. If it's difficult for you to keep a habit, try to change something about your diet that might be really difficult for you, or abstain for a long period of time from food until maybe a time, like 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever you can handle, because some people, it would be really hard for them just to skip breakfast. And so I would suggest try skipping breakfast and watch how your will gets stronger for other things in your life. It's very interesting how I guess you could say our core and our stomachs really do, how we control that really does have an effect on the rest of our lives. It can, okay? Everybody's different. That's just my suggestion. I'm also recording sound directly from my phone, so that's interesting too, but hopefully that everything is getting picked up well. What else? I mean, spiritually, you know what I mean? Spiritually reading and observing what's going on in the world right now. The big thing that's going on in the world is Cat Williams and what he talked about in the comedy world. And it's interesting because people are just so hungry for fearless people that it doesn't even matter if everything was true, not true, whatever. It's just people are so hungry for truth tellers. People are so hungry for people who don't mind speaking a bit against big machines. People are so hungry for people who have the audacity to step out and step away from a certain crowd or a certain group of groupthink and be their own person. So in truth, I think that someone like a Cat Williams went viral, not because of just the things that he was saying, but because the people are hungry in 2024, okay? And that's what this year is about. This year is about the truth tellers coming out. This year is about people who are focused on the real. This year is truly dedicated to those who have been in hiding and those who have not spoken up and those whose voices have been drowned out by bigger voices, so-called bigger voices with bigger platforms, but not necessarily the type of hearts that the people who I'm talking about have, So if we who say that, man, or we complain about, man, I don't like the type of music that's out on the radio now, I don't like this and I don't like that. Well, guess what? This is your year to step forward so that the people can see something different. And so for me, for example, I am a Muslim in the Nation of Islam, MGT, Muslim Girl Training, follower of Farrakhan, follower of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And honestly, when I get on social media, I'm actually craving to see more MGT influencers. And so for me, I have to be what I want to see. Okay. And so there are some, but there's very few. And so whatever you are, if you are someone who has a religious background, or if you're just a young Black girl who loves anime and you feel like there's not a lot of people around you who can relate to you, you'd be surprised. Okay. There's so many Black girls who like anime and all this, all the Japanese culture and all that stuff. I mean, go to all the concerts. I know people personally. So you have these little groups, right, who feel like they are not represented, or who feel like they can't speak up and feel like this. 2024, we cutting that and beyond. Okay, so if this video gets played 2025, 2026, 2027 and beyond, just know that this is our time. Okay, so I just wanted to come on here and really just talk about consistency, because going back to what I'm saying, we got to be consistent. We have to be organized, disciplined, and I'm talking to myself. Okay, as you can see, the sun is moving. But I'm talking to myself. We have to be organized. We have to be disciplined if we really want things to go in the direction that we desire. And it's not necessarily a direction that we desire. It's the direction that the Most High desires, because the Most High is the one who dictates who gets to speak in this hour. Okay? Because there has been a time where he allowed those whose hearts has a disease to be able to speak. But now it's those hearts who he is personally purifying because they are seeking him. And so the seekers who are seeking him, the Most High, God, Allah, whatever name you call him, those who seek him, those are the ones who are going to be allowed to speak today. And those are the ones who should be speaking today and telling the truth and saying it loud and proud. And God willing, I'm one of those people. And God willing, you are one of those people, because it's our time. I mean, I have so many books that I have bought that I have not yet read fully or at all. And I'm like, man, there's just so much knowledge out here. There's so much to learn. There's so much to do. There's so much to see. And it first starts with us. It starts with just believing that we deserve to be consistent. When we self-sabotage, it's because there's something in us that doesn't feel worthy of that success. And to me, success isn't money. There's so many billionaires who are miserable. There's so many millionaires who would jump off a cliff right now. We heard Jada Pinkett say that she was looking at different cliffs to jump off of, or well, to drive her car off of, right? And so there's so many people who have money, fame, popularity, everything you could think of, material things, who are miserable, right? So success isn't money. That's something that comes, after you seek the Most High, after you seek God. That's something that comes with it, but there has to be the character that is developed first. And when we develop our character, along with developing your character is learning the art of consistency, living the art of consistency. Look, the sun just moved. I'm no longer in a strong light, but hopefully you can still see me. So yeah, all of these things they are imperative for us to take this kingdom, the kingdom that's here now, take that down and build the kingdom of God on earth. That's literally what me and you, that's our responsibility. But he's not going to give us the leadership. God is not going to give us that platform until we can master ourselves, master our emotions, master if we can be consistent or not, right? Because once one leadership goes down, there's another leadership that has to be replaced, that has to replace it. And so those who are out of our lazy girl, lazy man, lazy boy era, lazy girl, lazy woman, lazy this era, we're coming into a productive era. We're coming into this is everything that I need. This is everything that I will have. This is everything that I'm gonna get. This is everything that I've always wanted. This is everything that is coming to me era, right? And so we are going to do it. We're going to bring it into existence. And I'm about work with what you have. Work with what you got. I have an iPhone, so I'm going to do my videos on an iPhone. I don't have to have fancy equipment. I do have a Canon. I have a Canon camera, but at this point, my iPhone is such high quality, I don't even need to put that out. The Canon, I don't even have to pull that out. So I personally think that we're living in an era where the Most High has made it easier for us to get our messages out. I mean, how blessed are we to have the type of technology that we have? I mean, how blessed are we? First of all, I just want to shout out to my husband for getting me this phone. And I want to shout out to Brother Albert at Mosque number 45 for getting me a phone. He didn't get it to me. He already had one. And he gifted me a phone, tripod. And I mean, the believers all are our friends. And so I just want to thank them. Again, my hubby for the phone, Brother Albert for giving me his tripod. It's just, we can work together to make things done, to get things done and make things happen. And as you can see, it's not about doing everything perfectly. I didn't say everything on this video perfectly. You see me having to change my words every now and then because I said a word wrong or whatever. But that's life. And I don't know how many people can just go through a whole talk with absolutely no mistakes. Maybe Martin Luther King, okay? Maybe Minister Farrakhan, but there's very few people who have orating skills in that type of way. People who know how not to say and filler words, right? People who don't curse every other word. Like, it's very difficult to just be able to press record and talk. So do it. Everybody knows that, you know, it's not necessarily going to be a perfect scenario. So just go ahead and do it. All right. I think a lot of times we stop ourselves from doing the things that we desire because we feel like, well, I got to do it perfectly. Actually, not doing it at all is the problem. And that's why I said we coming out of this lazy girl, lazy boy, lazy woman, lazy man era. Sorry, I had to sing on you for a little bit. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. And I think that we underestimate ourselves, and we think that just because we're young or old or black or white or this or that people won't understand the perspective that you bring to a particular topic. Nah, it's not about that. It's about stepping forward and being who God told you to be. And a part of that is consistency, okay? So what are we gonna do? We're going to strive to stay consistent. Child, I looked up the analytics. My RPM, which is pretty much my rate per, I don't know what the M stands for. I don't think it's per month, but maybe it is per month. Rate per month of my YouTube videos, right? So it's 1,000 views. Every 1,000 views, I get $3.15, right? Being transparent, okay? I said, well, God dog, I got to put out 666 videos if I want to make $500 this month. Come on. But that's with the average of maybe 234 watchers, right? But I have videos that have way more than 234 watchers. However, I decided to take the lowest number. And my mind is like, man, like I start thinking about all those YouTubers who are consistently putting out videos like back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And I'm just like, man, that takes consistency. That takes hard work. That takes dedication. And honestly, if you can do something just constant like that, I feel like you can do anything, because the hardest part is sticking with it. The hardest part is staying with it. The hardest part is just constantly doing it. So if you are someone who actually has already mastered routines, child, whatever you want to do, you should be able to do that thing, because it's the discipline for me. It's the consistency for me. You know, that's the thing that a lot of talented people just wish they had. We wish we could be so consistent. Okay? I'm telling you, I wish I could be so good. But I am. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that drama right now, because I am about to be and am being more consistent. Now, when it comes to my everyday life, I think that so far that's what I'm starting with. And so this doesn't mean that you're going to see about 1,500, YouTube videos coming from my page immediately. However, I do feel that your real life is what is really important, and making sure that the routines in your real life, your habits in your real life is taken care of, so that when you do get on the screen, when you do get on YouTube and TikTok and all these things, you're not putting on a show. You're not wearing a mask. You're showing the world the type of habits that you have, the type of character that you have, and the type of person that you are. And so I think that's the important part. I think that's the beauty of growing and allowing others to watch you grow. So I personally call this my self-improvement journey. And you can come along with me on my journey. And I pray that I can be of encouragement, inspiration, whatever it takes that you need for me to be. I pray that I can help you in whatever way by just me being myself. Okay? Hubby is with my daughter Nailani right now. They having their little daddy-daughter date. I think he's taking her to some type of fun place, and then they're gonna go out to eat to Olive Garden because my grandma done gave us a gift card, so might as well use that. And I said I'm gonna utilize this time to do my video, which I had already planned a day before or 2 days before that's what I was gonna do. So I was able to tell him, yeah, can you take the baby and so I could do my videos, because she would be somewhere loud around here, especially I'm using my phone sound. So I pray that y'all can hear me. I don't have the air conditioner on or anything, so yeah. But that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you in this journey, on this journey. I mean, starting and stopping all these habits that I wanted to have. It's just, it's just not where it's at. So we're not going to start and stop anymore. We're going to keep going, right? Right. And then if you do stop, we're not going to beat ourselves up for stopping, okay? We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We are going to cherish the things that we still have held on to. And then we're going to get back up and try again, which we always do anyway. So, hey, it ain't going to be nothing new, but 2024 is a different energy. And I'm very happy to say that we have been blessed. If you are watching this, you were blessed to live another day. You were blessed to see 2024. Wow. This day has never happened before in the history of life. And you get to participate in that. I mean, trillions of years ago, we weren't there physically, but they had their moment. And now we have our moment, right? We have our moment. And one of my friends said, this sounds morbid, but she was like, we're going to be dead longer than we're alive. And I said, man, she ain't never lied. That is so true. If we're going to be dead longer than we're going to be alive, then that means we really need to act like this is our moment. A part of acting like this is our moment is being consistent, disciplined, and driven to get the visions that the Most High put in your mind that you're supposed to bring into actuality, to get those visions out. I have visions. I have so many things that I see myself doing for this year that I have to be disciplined. I have to get up early in the morning, or I won't be able to write my music. I won't be able to write my scripts that I have in my mind. There's so many things. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you a secret. When you start doing these things, if you feel like you don't have any creativity, or you feel like you don't have ideas, let me tell you something. Start getting disciplined. Start talking to the Most High. Start talking to Allah God. Start talking to Him. You gonna start getting some downloads, okay? I got that from Erykah Badu, downloads. Hey, you gonna start getting some downloads. He's gonna start giving you ideas, giving you visions that He wants you to bring into actuality, because guess what? We are His vessels, and when we get closer to Him, He's gonna give us something to do. He's going to give you something to do, so you don't have to worry about that part. Just get a routine, get a system. I don't like calling them routines. I like calling them systems, because every world is built on systems. Good worlds, bad worlds, they're built on systems. So get your system. My system is getting up between 5 to 6:30 a.m. and saying my prayer first and foremost, stretching, reading, and then teaching. You know, teaching my daughter homeschool, and I take her to a library or something fun, ride her bike or whatever. And then, you know, start planning my day. But that's my system. well, not start planning my day, but start, doing the rest of my day. But that's my particular system. Your particular system might be different. I do suggest that everyone wake up early as you can. But hey, people have a different work schedule. Sometimes you work, till 5 a.m. So it's not for everybody. But as long as you have a system, you'll be fine. And a system centered around God is supreme. That's the top tier system, right? That's the system you really need if you want to hit the highest heights, right? So we're going to be consistent, and that's that. Thanks for watching. Peace.